in order to win and get it done, and we did that, so it feels great.
Ray, your defense, nothing short of spectacular these last 3 playoff games. What happened that turned you into ferocious people like this?
Well, I think the thing that we had to look at, we said, hey, we've been under a lot of pressure all year. I mean, our secondary has been scrutinized all year, our defense in itself. But we said, hey, in the playoffs, the thing you have to do, if you can go out and stop the run, then everything else will take care of itself. We said, hey, guys will make plays, but the thing we have to do is in the red zone, we really have to come up big. And I think that's where our problem was beforehand, was in the red zone, we let people score touchdowns, where now we don't.
I thought Anderson had a good first series, but I thought the key to the game, they drove it down the first series, and Romanowski got that sack. You held him to a field goal. The O comes back, scores a touchdown, and you made him settle for field goal attempts instead of touchdowns and kind of discouraged him.
And that was the key to the game. Greg Robinson told us all week, he told myself and DG, he said, hey, these guys, they're going to run a lot of play action, so the thing you have to do as corners is not get fooled. Play back when you're playing man, play back deep. When you're playing zones, play back in your zones, because they're going to run play action and they're going to fool the linebackers. He said they may catch some out routes, some corner routes. Just don't let them get the big one, and once they get in the red zone, we can stop them. And that was our game plan, and we stuck to that, and it started working in the second half.
Does it feel as good right now as it felt a year ago?
It feels great. It feels just as good, and believe me, this ring will mean just as much as last year.
Ray, you're one of the great players in the league. It's an honor to watch you play, and thanks for coming over.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Ray Crockett, who outstanding week in and week out.
What's up, babe?
I'll tell you, you got a lot of outstanding players, but the best player on the Denver Bronco defense, and by extension, one of the best players defensively in the NFL, is Bill Romanowski.
Well, thank you.
Well, it's the truth.
Well, I appreciate that.
I'll tell you, I thought this was your kind of football game because you put it to number 32.
Tried to. You know, it was frustrating a little bit for me in that I felt like they kept on running away from me. I felt like they wanted to get him one-on-one with the defensive back.
Right.
You know, that is a win-win situation for them. You know, at times we were able to get some good hits on them, shake them up. Bottom line is we put the ball in Chandler's hands and we came up with the big plays. And that's really what's the key, is keeping them from scoring when they got down in the red zone.
I told some of the people I was sitting with that the biggest play of the game, and I thought it was this way early in the third quarter, they take the opening kick, they come down the field, they got 3rd and goal, blitz, you sack Chandler, hold them to a field goal, your offense comes back on, touchdown, as if to say it's not going to be that way. And I thought your sack got your defense into the flow, got your defense into it. Did you feel that?
I did feel that. You know, whenever you can get a big play like that, keep them from scoring, you know, that's what it's all about. You know, they had to settle for a field goal. And, you know, whenever you can get the ball back to Elway and he can do great things, hey, that's what the key to winning football games is, getting the ball in the offensive hands. And for the most part, we were able to do that quite a bit tonight.
Bill, I can't imagine you could be any more proud of the defense you play on than over the last 3 weeks, where you've played 3 quality teams, all playoff teams, and I think you held those 3 teams to 1 touchdown, and the 1 touchdown was tonight when basically the game was already decided.
Well, defense wins championships.
Yep.
It really does. And you know, when it came down to it, we came up big when it counted most. Greg Robinson kept saying to our defense, "It's our time," and it was our time. And we made things happen. And we went out and we won another championship. We went back to back. You know, I couldn't be happier for all the guys, for myself, for my family, for all the people back in Denver. You know, I feel blessed and fortunate. They've been so good to me, and I tell you what, I played my heart out for them every game, and you know, we did a great thing again tonight.
You know, you did do a great thing, and you're on a great football team, and this isn't over. This isn't an old team making one last hurrah. This is a team that looks like there's a lot of good stuff left.
Absolutely. We talked about it in the locker room. We talked about a three-peat. Let's do what no other team has done. And, you know, we got the character, we got the talent, and we have the coaching. Why not?
One more thing. If you get that three-peat, or even if you don't, are you in a position now to look at this team and say, you know, over the last 20, 25 years, this football team right here has got to rank up with some of the best teams that have played the game?
Absolutely. If we do that, it's going to come down to a three-peat, though. Let's do what no team has ever done. Let's set ourselves apart
from everybody.
And like you said, this thing is still together. You know, the nucleus of this team is still here. Why not go out and do what no other team has ever done?
It's been so much fun watching you play. You're the best, and congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Bill Romanowski,
Thank you.
terrific job. Hey, tell you what, you know what? All the good people are coming over here, and they don't get any better than number 34. I'll tell you what.
Thanks for having me on. I mean, it's a great feeling.
Thank you for coming on.
It's a great feeling. I mean, for a team to go back-to-back, that separates you from other teams. And it's been a crazy week.
You know, I don't know where to start with you, except to say I remember sitting with you in an athletic club about 4 years ago, and you had played that 1 year in Miami, and you thought, Ron, I wonder if I can get back to Denver. And it's funny how life works, because here you are, and you're looking at a career now that people would dream about.
I know, and it's crazy because, you know, things happen for a reason. I mean, it was a sad time for me, and the fact that when Wade didn't re-sign me, I had to go down to Miami. It was sad, but I know for a fact that if I wouldn't have left that year, I wouldn't have been here for these 2 championship teams. And I'm glad it was just a 6-month vacation for me. Came back to town where my true blood is, Bronco blood, and things worked out for us.
All the years, Tyrone, you've been in Denver, have you ever seen 3 games like a defense has just played, where you played 3 playoff teams, basically held them to 1 touchdown? It was tonight, and it was really after the game was already decided.
Never seen it. I mean, we really stepped up these last 3 games, and it's unbelievable because you got to get a credit to Greg also. I mean, when he came out with the plan against Miami, I was like, dang, we're going to do some good things.
Yeah.
And it worked out well for us. The Jets, we made a lot of turnovers. This week we made some turnovers. We bent a little bit, but we made the play when we had to. So you got to give credit to Greg and our players, because we made plays when we needed to.
You know what? I never cheer anymore. I'm too jaded for that. But late in the game, Coghill pulled that ball out over here, and I'm like, pick it up, go, Tyrone!
Yeah, definitely. I got to thank Coghill for that, because I was sitting on the side. I was like, man, I need one of these balls. I need one of these balls somehow. And I'm coming up just to make a tackle, and George strips it out. He did a great job, and I just wish I had caught it in the air and kept going.
You know, it's funny. They try to replace you with a young guy, but they can't get rid of you, can they?
Yeah, it's just like fine wine. I just keep getting better with age, and hopefully I can keep going. You just want the competition, just to be here.
You know what? You have been, of all the people I've dealt with over 22 years in Denver, one of the finest young men I've ever had to deal with, and I'm so happy for you, and congratulations. And if tonight's the last game you play in a Bronco uniform, you were one of the all-time greats, and you did the uniform proud.
Thanks a lot, Ron. Thanks for having me on.
You bet, Tyrone. Right. Tyrone Braxton, one of the greats. And there's another young guy that may end up to be another Tyrone Braxton, Darius Johnson. Darius, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, 2 in a row. I mean, can you contrast how it feels from this year to last year?
I really couldn't tell you. I mean, it's a great feeling. I think last year was, you know, even more sweet. I mean, especially doing it for Wood and John Elway.
Sure.
And it was, you know, it was just something special. I mean, words really can't compare how I feel right now and then.
Tell me about the interception. Interception in the Super Bowl has got to be a dream come true.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I didn't think I was going to get an interception today, but we had such a great game plan. We had great pressure up front, and we practiced on that play all week, the dash play, and so happened I squeezed well, and we had some people in his space, and he made a bad decision. We capitalized on it.
It's a heck of a secondary. You guys got some criticism this year, but as the games got bigger, the secondary got better and better and better, didn't it?
Oh, definitely. I have to give the credit to the guys up front and our defensive scheme. You know, it really didn't matter all through the year. They saying that our secondary is only average or below average. But as long as we was getting W's, it really didn't matter. And just like today, we got the win, and I don't care if he threw for 1,000 yards,
right.
1,000 yards. We going home with a ring.
Hey, you're a world champion. Congratulations, and thanks for coming over.
Thanks.
Darius Johnson is going to have a long career in a Bronco uniform. We'll take a break. We'll come back and have more when we continue from Pro Player Stadium.
This portion of the 9 News Super Bowl postgame coverage has been brought to you by Keystone Resort, who's received over 6 feet of snow this month. Also by VH1. Go behind the music at VH1. And by your Rocky Mountain Ford stores.
If you're anticipating the biggest event of the year, make the drive to your Rocky Mountain Ford Store's 99 kickoff event. Get an Explorer Sport 4x4 with low 1.9 financing or lease for just $265 a month. Score low 162 a month on a Tough Ranger 4x4 or get 1.9 financing. Even the best-selling F-150 4x4 Super Cabs in the game with a $279 a month lease or 4.9 financing. Get off the bench and check out Ford's all-star lineup. When the whistle blows, it's game over. The 99 kickoff event now at your Rocky Mountain Ford stores.
At its best, nature has a way of reminding you you're just a speck. At least there's one place where you can have fun while feeling totally insignificant. With nearly 2,000 acres of diverse, natural, and very humbling terrain, Keystone, the nature of the Rockies.
I started smashing guitars really, really early. I was 12 years old, and I was sent to live with my grandmother by the sea. And one day she burst in on me and John Entwistle. She came in and she said, "Turn down that disgusting, awful row." I very calmly got up, and I picked up the amplifier, and I threw it against the wall. And it just kind of went, and the back of it fell off, and all the tubes burst, and it fell on the ground. And I just remember John kind of going, "Great."
Every week, Target gives $1 million to community causes. To celebrate You Are Loved, our exclusive collection of Whitney Houston love songs, a special contribution will go to the Whitney Houston Foundation for Children. Because we believe love is best when you give it away.
You are loved, yes you are.
Kevin Court joining us now, and we've talked to a lot of the players who made the plays. Time now to check the plays.
Yeah, boy, this was a lot of fun. If you're a defensive football fan, we have plenty on tap to show you. Broncos jump on top early. They do win the game 34-19, despite falling behind early 3-0. But again, the defense really set the tone throughout the game here in Super Bowl 33. Bill Romanowski with a key sack on the very first drive of the game to stifle Atlanta's offense deep in Bronco territory. There it is. That would set up the Bronco defense for the rest of the night. Now, the Falcons have to settle for a field goal here. They do make it. Morton Anderson right down the middle. 3-0, the only lead the Falcons would have all night. Later, it's Elway to Shannon Sharp. Sharp trying to get into the end zone. Oh, right there. Ray Buchanan takes out his knee. He could have just tackled the guy, but he went for the knee, and he got it. That stopped Sharp at the 1. He had to leave the game. He would not return with that bruised left knee. The Broncos do cap it. This is a reverse angle of the score. This way you can see it better. Howard Griffith makes his way in the 1-yard plunge, 7-3 Denver. Later, it's Elway throwing, intercepted by former CU standout Ronnie Bradford. Shannon Sharp at that point was still playing. After that, he knew he had to come out. He just wasn't right. But the Bronco defense, again, terrific. Jamal Anderson on a 4th and 1 in the second quarter, stuffed. But you know what? Keith Traylor has to work on a celebration. Get up there, Keith. There you go. Again, another try later in the second quarter by Morton Anderson. No good. Kickers really had a tough night tonight. Anderson missed that one. Jason Elam, we'll talk about him in just a minute. But after that miss by Anderson, the Broncos on the very next play go up top. Elway to Rockin' Rod Smith, 80 yards on the score. And just like that, it was a 17-3 lead for the Broncos. Huge play. Denver led 17-6 at the break. In the second half, we talked about those field goal kickers having a rough night. Well, here goes Jason Elam. Well, he made one, but then he pushed that one. That one after a pretty decent Bronco drive, but not to worry. The Bronco defense, as mentioned, had a terrific night. Chandler under pressure throughout. Braxton on the blitz. He throws one up, picked off by Darius Johnson. What a terrific catch. He's at the 45 at midfield, down to the 42-yard line. That would set up another chance for Jason Elam. Elam comes in, he kicks it, it's up and it's hooking like my golf shot. Not a good night for Jason. He made 2 and he missed 2. John Elway not happy about that. But again, the Bronco defense shutting down the mistake-prone Falcons. Chandler, ball is tipped and deflected, intercepted by Darian Gordon. And DG is off to the races. 50, 40, 30, but slowed up by Chris Chandler. He's down to the 25-yard line. The Broncos in the first play of the fourth quarter make their way in. Howard Griffith. The guy had 0 touchdown rushes all year. He had 2 tonight. How about that? 24-6. Broncos on top after that score. Later, it's Chris Chandler again, throwing, getting picked off again. This time again, it's Flash Gordon at the 20, at the 30, at the, well, you know I wouldn't show you if he didn't run for a while, right? He gets to midfield, over 100 yards on returns. by Darian Gordon tonight. Mike Shanahan said, yeah. John Elway, under pressure, hooking up with Terrell Davis. TD, get this, 25 carries, 102 yards rushing, 2 catches for 50 yards. 152 yards total for him. Elway with the touchdown run there. That was all she wrote. Broncos up 31-6 at that point. They win it 34-19. For more on the game, let's head back now to Miami. Ron Zappolo standing by with a very talented man who didn't get a chance to show that talent tonight in Shannon Sharpe. Ron?
Kevin, thanks very much. This man needs no introduction as the rain starts to come down. John Elway said to you right after the game, I heard him in the locker room, said, my man, if you hadn't have got dinged there, it would have been a huge night for you.
Well, I knew it was. You know, Mike had told me all week that we like the matchup, you against their linebackers and safeties, and basically all you got to do is catch the football. And I knew in the first drive, we caught 2 passes, it was going really, really well for me, and you know, I got the knee hit and wasn't able to get my foot off the ground, and you know, but Chamberlain and Carswell did a great job stepping in.
It looked like you were just trying to score, like you smelled the goal line, you were making a little extra effort there.
I was. I really was, and I could, you know, see the end zone, and was going through my mind is that I'm gonna score in the Super Bowl. I'm gonna score in the Super Bowl, and I got up into that the inch line, and you know, I think Terrell or Griffith got the ball in the end zone.
Was there a sense of frustration for you, even though, I mean, your team just dominated and steamrolled, but to be able to sit over there on the side?
It's hard. It's hard, especially a game of this magnitude.
Sure.
Any other game other than Super Bowl, no, you know, you can handle that well. But this is the game of the game. You know, you have the world's undivided attention, and you really want to do well. And but I think the thing is that we got a great nucleus, and Carswell and Chamberlain came in, and they prepared all week, and I really felt at ease. Maybe in years past, I would have felt bad, but I felt really at ease turning the game over to those 2 guys.
Don't you think, Shannon, and you're a student of this game, that this isn't like the Packers making the last hurrah? This is a team that is built for maybe a few more of these.
Oh, there's no question about it. And, you know, I said it earlier, you know, we love to have John back, and I'm thinking about Atlanta already. You know, we already have this one in the bag, so there's no sense in, you know, dwelling on Miami. I'm thinking about being in Atlanta in 2000. We got a wonderful opportunity with or without John. Does it greatly increase our chances of getting back to Atlanta with John? Greatly, 95% chance. But I feel that, you know, he feels that he can lead this team in great situation with Bubby, and he can get the job done.
And before I let you go, last year you said you were in the shower after the game with Elway, and you asked him, and he said he was coming back. I can tell you haven't showered yet, but could that same conversation exist this year?
No, I think so, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure he hadn't made it out of there yet. He's still probably doing interviews as I am, and so I'm gonna catch him in the shower, and after probably that 50th, we world champs again, I'm going to ask a question.
Hey, final one, and you know this game. Is it fair for me now to start putting the team that's won back-to-back Super Bowls up there with some of the best teams of the last 20, 25 years that have played in this league?
Ever. I mean, you don't do it, especially with the advent of free agency the way it is now. Parity has gotten so good. Yeah, there's no question about it. We've earned the right. There have been a lot of teams that's won 1 in a row. Very few teams have won 2 in a row. And so here we have an opportunity to go 3 in a row. So that's going to be our whole thought process this whole offseason, is getting back in shape and getting ready to go for a 3-peat.
You know, I feel bad for you that you got hurt, but knowing that it's in your home state next year, maybe next year would be your platform, maybe that MVP title.
Man, you know, the thing is, I would have loved to, you know, been able to win the MVP, but the bottom line for me, I'm out here on the victorious side, and that's all that matters.
Shannon, you've been great all year. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Ryan.
Shannon Sharpe, the All-Pro tight end of the Denver Broncos. Kevin, back to you in the studio.
Okay, Ron, thanks very much. You know, I do feel bad for Shannon Sharpe, too, because I know, especially with all the hype over the last 2 weeks, and a guy who wants to get out there and show, especially, as he said, on the world's biggest football stage, what kind of talent he has. I really feel bad that he had to leave so soon, but he mentioned something I think that was really important. When he said that he was comfortable, and he knows that this team is in good hands when he's not on the field, that's a big, big key for next year, especially.
Chamberlain demonstrated that.
He really did. Chamberlain can catch the football, and let's face it, Carswell is a terrific blocker, and when you have guys like that and that kind of depth, who knows, maybe they would have a legitimate shot for 3. Yeah.
Okay, we'll get back to you a little bit later on.
Okay.
Thanks.
Stay with us, everyone. More special coverage of back-to-back championships when we come back.
This portion of the 9 News Super Bowl post-game coverage has been brought to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Also by your friendly Dodge dealer. And by the Denver Rocky Mountain News, America's fastest growing newspaper.
Rocky Mountain News is offering the ultimate way to remember it all. A commemorative metal printing plate of the front page of the paper the day after the Super Bowl. Just order a full year of the news Wednesday through Monday for only $24.95. Call 1-800-892-NEWS.
Some things don't taste their best the day they're made. You'd never drink wine the day they crush the grapes, or eat a green banana.
No way, Dad.
And that's the secret to Papa John's traditional dough. We give the yeast several extra days to work its magic. We never use dough made the same day like some folks. Nature rewards those who exercise patience.
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Now, get a large 2-topping pizza for $8.99 and your second for just $6.99.
Now play in the snow as long as you want, because Dodge makes America's longest-lasting line of full-size pickups. And since Dodge also makes, overall, America's most powerful line of full-size pickups, this Ram 4x4 is more than a fair-weather friend, even when the weather isn't fair. And now that you can get low 1.9% APR financing, hurry in while you can still get out. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
You have meditated for 3 months.
Yes, Master.
And what have you learned?
One thing, Master.
Yes?
Nobody in the world sells more real estate than Remax.
Remax Associates average more experience and more sales than other real estate agents. So why in the world would you ever call anyone else?
You have done well, my son.
Thank you, Master.
Remax helped us find this place, you know.
Cool.
Welcome back to 9 News. Our special coverage is Colorado and the Denver Broncos celebrate back-to-back championships. Jim Benneman along with Ed Sardella a few moments ago, well, by now it could have been an hour, we saw Ginger Delgado at guards with those $25 victory hats. We saw them on the Broncos, but they probably got them
show
for
the
free.
shirt again here, just one moment. Here we are.
That's
This
right.
is one of the first shirts that came off.
One of the first of 75,000
Yes.
they expect to produce over the next 3 days. So certainly we'll be seeing some of those at the rally and the parade tomorrow, I would guess.
And it's nice not to have to say if anymore. There will be a victory parade and victory rally tomorrow. And Ginger Delgado is on the spot where the rally will be. It's at the City and County Building. Ginger?
Yeah, and I just want to say I'm glad you guys have one of those shirts because we just left Guard Sports about an hour ago and they were almost sold out. They're sold out of the locker room hats, so good to know that you got one of those. We are live at Civic Center Park where the big rally is going to take place tomorrow right after the parade. The stage is set. You can see behind me. All we need now are the people and, of course, the players. Check this out. We've got some guys unloading some big semi-trucks right now. This is the sound system that you're going to hear tomorrow. These guys are telling me that they've got 60 300-pound speakers that are about 5 feet tall that are going to be spread out all over the Civic Center Park area from the City-County building all the way over to the state capitol. So that kind of gives you an idea of the enormous sound system that is going to be out here tomorrow. We've got some information that I want to give you about the times of the rally and the parade, so let's take that graphic right now. The Broncos land in Denver at noon tomorrow. The parade starts at 2 o'clock at 20th and Broadway. It goes straight down Broadway for about 7 blocks to Civic Center Park for the rally. The rally is right after that parade. And there's the map right there. You can see the little Broncos thing going right down Broadway. So just to give you some minor details about what you'll need to know tomorrow, there is going to be an area for the disabled that's going to be set up on the side of the City-County building. As far as parking goes, we're told that all metered parking will be free tomorrow if the meters are not bagged, and of course, if you could find a meter. So we're going to be live out here tomorrow starting at noon with all the festivities as they happen. We hope you can participate in some form, whether you come out here and join the crowd or whether you watch it on 9 News. Back to you guys.
All right, Ginger, thanks for the information.
Okay.
A lot of people hoping that the weather tomorrow is as nice as it was today, but Kathy Sabin can't make that promise. She's in the Weather Center with that rally and parade forecast. Kathy?
I might suggest dressing warm, Jim. We are in between two storm systems. We enjoyed sunshine today, temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s. That's all going to come to an end tomorrow. Let me show you what's going on as we check out the regional satellite and NEXRAD composite. An area of low pressure is making its way across Nevada into Utah. It will move into Colorado tonight with snow showers developing in the high country. A snow and blowing snow advisory out for our northern and central mountains after midnight tonight. What can you expect as you head to downtown Denver for the parade tomorrow? Here's the forecast. Skies will have turned mostly cloudy by midday. It'll be much colder as the system moves through. It's a small storm, but it's a vigorous storm. Scattered snow showers will be developing as the afternoon wears on. We could have 1 to 3 inches of accumulation in the metro area by tomorrow evening and for your drive home tomorrow evening. Temperatures topping out near 40 early on with falling temperatures throughout the afternoon. I expect we'll see temperatures in the mid-30s about the time that the victory celebration gets underway. And if we have any kind of a wind, well, the wind chill factor will definitely be something we'll be talking about as well. We'll have more on this, of course, in our weather segment eventually when we do our newscast. Jim and Ed, back to you.
Kathy, it'll be a quick reminder for the Broncos that Miami is not Denver in January.
It'll be a very quick reminder.
All right, thanks.
We're watching the celebrating tonight after the Broncos' victory in Super Bowl 33, 34-19. John Elway, the most valuable player, will be back, and we'll continue in a couple minutes.
I've been talking with people all over Denver about buying cars and trucks. Everywhere I go, people say pretty much the same thing. You want a low price without having to fight to get it. You want a big selection without having to drive all over the place. You want to shop in a pressure-free environment. At John Elway Auto Nation USA, you get a low, no-haggle price, a 3-day, 150-mile money-back guarantee, even a service guarantee. It's about lower prices. It's about higher standards. It's about time.
It really got started about 20 years ago. Jackson started as a kind of restaurant where everyone could feel comfortable. If they were just stopping in for a quick bite, staying for dinner, or celebrating that special occasion. Traditions have been born in Jackson. People have met here, teams have celebrated countless victories, and families just come to relax and enjoy the good food. Jackson, a Denver original for over 20 years.
In here, don't you think? Maybe you should go to Mervyn's entire stock sale. They have everything you could need or want.
Like Field Crest towels, 25% off. Athletic shoes like Reebok Classics, $39.99. 10 to 25% off kitchen appliances. And all denim like women's Levi's.
By the way, downstairs neighbors, not happy.
Mervyn's entire stock sale, now through Saturday.
The BMW 3 Series sedan from $26,970.
Two times, baby, but you know what? Bye-bye, Bernie. Bye-bye, Bernie. Bye-bye, Bernie. Bye-bye, Bernie.
Keith Burns doing some celebrating. Jim Benneman and Ed Sardella, Adele Arakawa in Fort Lauderdale. We'll be talking to her a little bit later on, and we're watching the celebrating of the Broncos' Super Bowl victory, and we'll be with you probably until about 11 o'clock tonight or whatever the situation warrants. We want to show you some home video.
That's right.
Brian Lott shot this. He lives in an apartment above Larimer Square, and this is what it looked like earlier tonight.
Yeah, some of the paper that you see burning there are some of the extras that the Denver Post and we presume the Rocky Mountain News handed out, some extra editions proclaiming the Broncos back-to-back world champions. There you see some of the police contingent that moved in a lot more quickly this year than they had last year. They had warned that they would probably get around to using tear gas much more quickly than they had the last time around, and there you see some of the gas canisters being lobbed at the crowd. Crowd estimated anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 people in that area, and they moved in pretty swiftly.
They had hoped to avoid this altogether, of course, but when it became clear that they weren't going to be able to avoid it, and especially after the fire started, that was it.
One of the